Good first half with Green Bay on top 17-14. New England coming in as the hottest team in the league. Come off two big routes of the Jets and the Bears, but Green Bay giving them all they can handle tonight. Even without Aaron Rodgers. Passing yards 130-64. Neither team with a turnover, but the big play in the game for New England down by 10 points was that unbelievable 71-yard run back by Dan Connolly. Longest return by an offensive lineman in the history of the league, and he comes up about 4 yards shy of the goal line. So there he is, an offensive guy who, you know, keeps getting signed and sent to the practice squad and back and forth. Started with Jacksonville, came here a couple of years ago. His moment in the sun, or under the lights anyway, as we start the second half, with Sam Shields from the 10-yard line. Up to the 25 and a flag at the end of the play.
During the return, holding by the receiving team, number 86. 10-yard penalty. Green Bay keeps the ball. First down.
Donald Lee back to the kickoff return we go.
Well, get used to watching it. Crosby missed it, but then Conley with what would have had to have been the all-Madden play of the century. John would have been going berserk watching an offensive lineman with a record-breaking kickoff return to turn the tide of this game.
Had to be an out-of-body experience for him on the move like that as Brandon Jackson takes it up to the 13-yard line, and we check in with Andrea Kramer. Andrea.
Well, Al, as for Mike McCarthy's perspective on that play, he said it was a called squib kick. He just said it was poor tackling on his team's part. His assessment of Matt Flynn, he's happy with him. What he needs from him in the second half, manage the game, make smart decisions, don't take any chances. As for safety Nick Collins, in getting x-rays on his ribs, Atari Bigby will step in for him for now.
All right, thank you, Andrea, from the 13-yard line now on 2nd and 7. Jackson took hold to the 23. And remember, Green Bay won the toss at the beginning of the game and deferred, then recovered the onside kick, which led to a Green Bay field goal. So they start the second half with the ball first down here.
Well, center Scott Wells here is going to work on Kyle Love. Remember, they've taken Vince Wilfork off the nose and moved him over to defensive end, and that's allowing some of these cutback runs to play. Believe me, we're seeing a much better game out of this Green Bay Packers offensive line tonight than we saw a week ago.
Jackson efficient on the ground, 10 carries for 40. This one will go for about 3 to the 26-yard line. No team in the league has had more impactful injuries than the Green Bay Packers. I mean, they started the season with Grant getting hurt on opening day. Jermichael Finley, their tight end, went down. Martauscher, their tackle. Nick Barnett, their middle linebacker. Al Harris was hurt before the season, then was activated, and he was sent away. They're missing Jenkins, Cullen Jenkins, their best pass rushing defensive lineman. I mean, it goes on and on with these guys. And now, of course, Rodgers tonight. 2nd and 8. Give it to Kuhn. John Kuhn with a thrust out to the 32-yard line. 3rd down and 2 upcoming.
Well, as soon as the Packers start running the ball, what do? They put Big Vince right back in the middle. Remember, the Patriots tonight now are missing some of their best defensive linemen. Ron Brace, Mike Wright, Aaron Pryor, Brandon Spikes, the linebackers out as well. So there may be some alleys to run the football that usually aren't there against the Patriots.
Third down and 3. Flynn gets it away and throws an interception to the 35-yard line. Kyle Arrington still on his feet inside the 10, all the way to the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
Receiver right up here is going to come in, and he's going to get cut off basically by Pat Chung. So James Jones stops on the route, and Matt Flynn, who was again under pressure that time, delivered the ball where he thought his receiver was going to be. And the Green Bay Packers, a horrible job of tackling, and it cost them a touchdown. Got to be able to go make the tackle offensively on that play.
Extra point. Point Graham is good. Arrington had a blocked field goal that he ran in for a touchdown against Miami earlier this year. Now the interception run back for the touchdown. And the Patriots are on top by 4. Kyle Arrington, who played his college football at Hofstra. Started with Philadelphia last year in training camp in Tampa Bay. Second year with New England. On the coverage team here, the kick is fielded by Shields from the 11-yard line. Sam brings it out to the 35-yard line. So it was 3rd down and 3 when Flynn went back to pass. And the next thing you know, you got the lead for the Patriots.
As soon as Jordy Nelson goes out to the flat, Pat Chung is just going to go with his man, and he ends up cutting off James Jones, who stops on the route. And then there's Kyle Arrington, and he does the rest. Got to help young quarterbacks all you can. I know he got cut off, but you've got to keep fighting through there.
Dimitri Nance starts as the running back on 1st down. Here's Nance.
Oh, and there's Woolfolk.
Yeah, can't miss him.
Oh, baby. Vince Wilfork just basically fought his way through half the team of the Green Bay Packers. Right there's the big guy. Watch this. Double team inside. Run into his own man, Tully Banteke. Oh, baby. He controls a lot of turf in the middle of the field for the Patriots.
Second down and 10. And the pass is caught, and that's a good tackle to save for the moment. A 1st down. James Jones makes the catch. Kyle Arrington with the tackle. Defenders to start all 13 games for the Pats. Just 3 of them. Wilfork, Mayo leads the team in tackles by a mile, and the rookie McCourty, tied for fewest in the league through 14 weeks. Their defense, the average age of the starters, less than 26. That's the youngest defense in the NFL. So they've had a lot of injuries, but they have good depth, and they're young. And they're playing better. And
their best 3 players are the ones that have played and started every game.
Right. 3rd down and 1. Kuhn. Look at that. Kuhn again with a 1st down and a great second effort to the 44-yard line.
Now let's give Josh Sitton a little credit, the guard. He was on Vince Wilfork and got this one done right here too. But for John Kuhn, look at the patience. Sees it, it's not there, bounce outside. Pretty athletic for a big fullback. Sitton holding his own, which is about all you can hope for against that guy.
From the 43. Off the fake. Comes back. Nance. Across the 50 and a 1st down to the New England 46-yard line. Tackled here by Rob Yankovic.
You know, sometimes you learn more about quarterbacks after interceptions than you do after touchdowns. And for Matt Flynn, had so much go right for him in the 1st half, and he comes out and tough play to start the 2nd half, but he's come right back in. They say he's a little bit like Brett Favre. He's a character. He likes to joke around in the huddle, play around with the guys. They felt like his demeanor was the thing that set him apart when they wanted him.
Deep drop, good protection. Again, it's Nance. Tackled in the open field by Ninkovich.
Well, Matt Flynn, kind of a dream 1st half for him to come in and play the New England Patriots. He looked good. There was some pressure early, a little unsettled. Then he came back. McCarthy gave him some short, quick throws and set up the big one. But he was not afraid. He stood in there more often than not. And for Tom Brady, Thought he was going to get the ball to start the second half. He's been starting off on the bench. I thought that was an interesting halftime speech, though.
Second down and 5. Through the middle and finding some room is Brandon Jackson. So they're doing it on the ground for the most part on this drive, and that's a first down at the 35-yard line.
Well, they just keep trying to put Vince Wilfork wherever they think the ball's going. Here he is back out at defensive end, and it's Josh Sitton again, no question, the biggest and strongest and most physical of the offensive linemen for the Green Bay Packers. That has been some war going on in there, but because of the injuries to these defensive linemen, the Packers are having success inside, which most teams don't.
Flynn to the outside, and that is caught. Inbounds, 9-yard gain. Greg Jennings, who had a touchdown grab in the first half, makes the catch, and that will put him over 1,000 yards in receiving for the season. Second down and 1 upcoming. So we're halfway through the third quarter, and the Patriots have not had the ball yet, but they have the lead. Brandon Jackson is the running back. Needs a yard, gets it. Then about 3 more. It'll be a first down at the 22-yard line. The tackle made by Gerard Mayo.
Well, you know it was a tough week of practice for Mike McCarthy and this offensive line. They simply were manhandled a week ago by Ndamukong Suh and Corey Williams and some of those defensive linemen for the Detroit Lions. It really was a bit uncharacteristic, but whatever they did in practice is paying off tonight.
This is a 9th play of the drive. 4 runs, 4 passes. They've had the ball for 5.5 minutes. Nance is the running back. Protected well. He throws into traffic, and that time Arrington almost had another pick. Donald Driver was the intended receiver.
You know, in the National Football League, you can't do this. When you're going to get a corner in basically a cover 2 defense that is allowed when he sees the quarterback, he's just going to keep going back. In college, maybe you get away with that throw, maybe even in the national championship game. In this league, he's lucky that wasn't another pick.
Second down and 10. Flynn 15 out of 24 for 177. Back on the ground, Brandon Jackson, and there's a face mask, and you can see that when your head gets spun around like that. Pretty easy to call. That's Wilfork, who got his hand up in the mask. He's trying to say, no, I got it by the shoulder pad.
Personal foul, face mask, 15-yard penalty, defense, automatic first down.
I'll tell you, that call could have easily gone either way there, Al. It was Scott Wells, the center, basically pushing Vince Wilfork out of the way, but you'll see his arm sort of wrapped around the belly there, which forced Wilfork to go out and grab the face mask. And Wilfork, after the play, was advising the officials that he was held on the play.
To no avail. McCarthy going through a lot of the play sheet in this half. 11th play of the drive. All Brady can do is pace and keep warm. First and 10. They can get a first down without a touchdown. And it's Jackson. Brandon Jackson gets about half the distance, just shy of the 5-yard line. It'll be second down.
The one thing that you see a lot in football games, especially when you're depleted on that defensive line, remember Brandon Dederick was injured early in this game, so basically with just about 4 defensive linemen, Vince Wilfork and company have had to play the entire game out there. Those guys are used to getting a little bit of rest. They're not getting tonight. It actually looks like Dederick's back in now.
He is. Second down and 5, just outside the 5. Nance is the tailback. The fake to Nance. And then Flynn will just throw that away. He had nobody there and knew he was under pressure and throws it away to save another day. And I tell you what, at least Flynn With the enormous pressure of succeeding Rodgers, at least for a night, and playing in New England on Sunday Night Football, can still manage a smile.
You know, that's what they said about him. He's just a fun-loving guy. He didn't feel the pressure of the moment. He's been in big games, and he's got a big play coming here.
3rd and 5. That defense will be well rested. They rush 3. They swing it to Kuhn, and Kuhn will dive into the end zone. Touchdown. That was a magnificent 13-play, 69-yard drive. 6 runs, 7 passes, and Green Bay has the lead again.
And it should have never happened. Rob Ninkovich basically just falls down. He trips over his own feet and just allows the walk-in for John Kuhn. But the Green Bay Packers activated 3 fullbacks tonight and just 2 tailbacks, in part because Kuhn can do some of those things.
Kick by Mason Crosby is good. So New England will finally get the football almost 10 minutes into the second half. 5:08 left in the third. 24-21 Green Bay. Oh yeah, good food in Boston and environs. Tuna tartare wasn't bad the other night either.
Baby.
Bill Belichick going over things on the sideline, and that will be a touchback. And Brady will finally get to work at the 20-yard line when we come back. Miami loses at home to go to 7-7. New England's first offensive play of the second half is a 1-yard gain for Benjarvis Green-Ellis, who's tackled by Ryan Pickett. 2nd down and 9. Well, Brady's going to have to rally the troops, and he's done that this season, Chris, and he's done it with his throat as well as his arm.
I'll tell you, that Cleveland game was one in which Belichick went crazy on him.
And then the following week, you saw Brady as demonstrative as he's ever been on the sideline in Pittsburgh, and the pass here is incomplete.
Well, basically at halftime of the Cleveland game, Bill Belichick came in there and goes, I told you guys, you're only as good as your last game. You don't get it. You don't understand. And basically started screaming at Tom Brady and Vince Wilfork, saying that you guys are the ones that are letting this happen out there with this young team. And so ever since then, Tom Brady has been exactly that, expressing himself.
And that was the last shot you saw Brady on the sideline at Heinz Field that night in Pittsburgh. And they beat the Steelers to start this 5-game winning streak, which is in jeopardy right now. B.J. Raji comes firing through the middle to get his 2nd sack.
Well, there's no way that Danny Woodhead is going to be able to handle about 350 pounds of B.J. Raji. They brought pressure. They just missed Raji, which is a tough concept to grasp.
Watch the sideline.
You're always looking for a mismatch. Lesko's kick. Hold in 43-yard line by Tramon Williams. Looking for a crease and can't find one. And the coverage is good. He's tackled by Gary Guyton at the 46-yard line. Green Bay gets it back. Up by 3. Tomorrow night right here on NBC. After a 3-and-out for New England, Flynn back to work, and he just drops him in softly over the middle to Quinn Johnson. And Johnson takes it to the 43, his one-time college teammate. It's very crazy right now in the NFC North. Anything can happen between these two teams. Play fake. And Flynn will throw, and coming back to make the catch that time is Greg Jennings, and he has it at the 27-yard line to move the chains.
That is a great play by Greg Jennings right there. Really nothing working down the field. He's on this deep cross and there's nothing there. So Jennings, instead of going up the field, comes right back to his quarterback. Flynn finds him for a big first down. Brilliant play by a receiver.
At the 27, 16-yard gain, first down. Nance, tell you what, 286 yards for Green Bay and 129 for New England. Flynn, 3 touchdown passes tonight. You go back to Mikowski in his rookie year 87, tying a Packer rookie record. On top of that, Chris, I mean, if somebody would have told you Green Bay would have the ball 29 minutes and New England 13 and a half before the game, you'd look in their drink.
You know, the onside kick to start the game set the tone.
Second down and 9. Jackson and Green Bay rediscovering its running game, and that's made a big difference tonight. First down to the 14-yard line.
Well, that time the old vet Chad Clifton got it done on the outside. He's going to get the hook block, and Brandon Jackson's going to set it up inside, bounce it outside. Clifton knew what he was going to do, and once again, the Packers running the football. I would have never believed it tonight.
102 rushing yards in less than 3 quarters. That's a backward pass to Greg Jennings, and Jennings to the 15-yard line. You know, you don't want to make too big of a deal of this, but everybody thought coming into this game, the minute you knew Aaron Rodgers wasn't going to play, the way New England's playing, and Green Bay loses to Detroit 7-3, we thought this would be a rout.
I think most people did, but the one thing that you can never take into consideration, the fact that sometimes a young defense can start reading their own press clippings. Remember, the Patriots during the course of this week were already in the Super Bowl.
Right. Second down and 11. And a spade of stories comparing this to the 07 team. Here's Jennings. But the one thing Belichick doesn't let his team do, even though right now they're really in a tough one, he doesn't let them read about themselves or listen to too much talk. He tries not to anyway. Algie Crumpler the other day, he said the only paper we subscribe to is the Belichick Times.
That's a pretty interesting paper, especially at halftime.
Right. X-rated. 3rd and 6 at the 11. Flynn to Kuhn. Here goes Kuhn again to the 2-yard line. He's like a runaway truck when he gets the ball.
That was one of the best plays I've seen in a long time by John Kuhn. We'll show it to you, I'm sure, after the break of the quarter.
He's an 18-wheeler rolling down the highway. End of 3 and a good one. 24-21 Green Bay. Sunday Night Football back after this. And down to Foxboro we come for the 4th quarter. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Andrea Kramer's first and goal for the Packers, who lead by 3 from the 2-yard line. And it's the up back Kuhn, who's already scored 1 touchdown tonight, and he takes the ball to the 1-yard line. Let's go back to the last play of the 3rd quarter with Kuhn.
A perfect play by a fullback. Watch the chip block on Tully Banticane. Knock him down. Slip out. A fullback now makes 1, 2 guys miss. Pick up the first down. John Kuhn has been tremendous tonight.
Kuhn the fullback. Jackson is the tailback. Kuhn again. No. This time he's stopped. Tries to go over the right side. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 1.
Well, this time it's Ninkovic and McCourty coming in the backfield to set up a big-time 3rd down.
Flynn protected well, but the defense is also doing a good job, and he's forced to throw it away. So now it's 4th down and goal, and they're going to send Crosby in for a field goal. big stop for New England.
The play that really set this one up, though, was Devin McCourty coming in off the edge. We talked about him being the defensive rookie of the year. He and Ndamukong Suh, the two top contenders, but that was some tackle by a little cornerback.
19-yard field goal is good, so that defense, the New England defense, keeping this a one-possession game, not two. 27-21 Pack. Incredible win today to come back against the Giants. On top of the NFC East are the Eagles. The kickoff fielded at the 25-yard line. This time it's Algie Crumpler. He'll go nowhere. At least they kept it away from Connolly. New England with the ball for only the second time in the half. Tom Capers has been around a long time. He's the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. He was actually on the New England staff in 2008 observing Bill Belichick. And what a job his crew has done tonight. Here's Brady on first down. Wobbles one down the field, caught by Welker at the 50-yard line. And West takes it inside the Packer 40 to the 39-yard line. Charlie Pepper downfield to make the tackle. So a big play for Brady on first down as Tom sends it down the field for a gain of 35.
Always starts with protection, and that was the blitz that they sacked Tom Brady on earlier. That time, Ben Jarvis Green right there for the pickup.
From the 38-yard line. And this is Danny Woodhead. Now, we saw Connolly with that great run back, and he had been playing right guard in the first half. Then he played fullback in the goal line offense. But the Patriots tell us he has a head injury. And thus you have number 62, Ryan Wendell, who is playing right guard. And Connolly has not played here in the second half.
And Connolly replaced Stephen Neal, so they're really on their third guard now.
2nd and 3. From the 32-yard line. Caught by Green Ellis. And Ben Jarvis Green Ellis takes the ball to the 21-yard line for a first down.
Well, this Ben Jarvis Green Ellis has turned into a story. A free agent a few years ago, really nothing more than an afterthought, goes on the practice squad. And as the injuries continue to mount with Fred Taylor and Kevin Falk, he just kept getting opportunities. And he has delivered. He has a shot at going over 1,000 yards. Pretty impressive year.
Traded away Lawrence Maroney at the start of the season. He'd been their premier back last year. Here's Green Ellis again. Injury for Green Bay. We should mention too, Nick Collins, the safety, is out. Looked at his ribs, and he's not going to come back. So Atari Bigby is in his spot. Quarterback comparison to this point in the game. Who would have believed it?
Oh, I predicted this before the game.
Right, you sure you
Almost.
did.
I missed a couple yards there, but there he is. The championship belt belongs to him. He's looking over at Aaron Rodgers. He likes to do that after touchdown passes.
2nd and 10. Woodhead, and he gets stuffed. It's Desmond Bishop.
Wow. Desmond Bishop got a running start on Danny Woodhead and buried him coming from right here. Danny Woodhead not quite 200 pounds, and Desmond Bishop is. Tell you what, you won't get Danny Woodhead to back off into those. Tough kid.
Big third down on 8 now from the 20-yard line. With 11:15 to go. Pats down by 6. Off the hands of Edelman and incomplete. Julian Edelman over the middle. And it's incomplete. So it's 4th down and 8. And Tom Brady, who's had some breaks tonight in terms of not throwing an interception, has just broken Bernie Kosar's record for most passes in one season without a pick. 287.
Yeah, but that one should have been picked. Eric Walden, who was picked up just recently, had it go right between his hands.
38-yard field goal attempt now for Shane Graham, who was picked up in mid-year. And Steven Gostowski went on injured reserve, and the former Bengal bangs it through to make it a 3-point game again. 11:05 left in regulation. The Packers on top 27-24. Packers travel well, very much like the Steelers. No matter when this team is on the road, there will be a few cheeseheads. From the 6-yard line, Sam Shields. He's out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Against teams that are 10-2 or better since 1970, the year of the merger, quarterbacks making their first start, and that would figure. 1-6 with a 32 rating and 4 TDs and 15 picks. Because you're throwing a young guy in for the most part, an inexperienced guy against a real good football team. But tonight, there are Matt Flynn's numbers. Pretty good, really good. From the 21 on first down. Play action, stepping up. He's going to go down at the 17-yard line. Devin McCourty was the first guy to come in, and there he is, the rookie corner.
Well, Devin McCourty, just a hustle play here, is going to come off the slot way outside. Basically gets picked up, though, by Brandon Jackson. Just stays with it. And for Matt Flynn, you can't let the situation slow you down now. He's been getting the ball out of his hands. You cannot allow yourself, because the pressure's on, to change what you're doing. Hold the ball, see it, and fire it. You've got to let it go.
2nd and 14. From the 17-yard line, Flynn, and that's through the hands of Jackson. And you had Wilfork back there covering Jackson.
Well, you can't expect for Jackson to get away from a great athlete like Vince Wilfork. I mean, my goodness, the guy's got the most nimble feet in the world. Go get him, Vince. He might be going for Defensive Player of the Year himself. I think he'd have run him down.
That's Jackson's first on-target drop this season. 3rd down and 14. Flynn stepping up. He's going to run. Will he slide? Well, it's a half a slide as he gets up to the 27-yard line. Almost went down to the fetal position.
Yeah, and I'm sure that Mike McCarthy had his heart in his throat on that one, because all he has behind Matt Flynn is Graham Harrell, who has no experience. It was a little bit close to the way Aaron Rodgers got hit, and Matt Flynn, he doesn't know any better. He's just out there playing.
Tim Mastey's kick. Edelman collects it at the 33-yard line. And he's tackled at the 37 with 9.5 to go in the 4th. And Brady going back to work in a 3-point game. Yep. Speaking of the cape, we're far from the cape.
Yeah, most people think that Tom Brady should wear a cape. He's sort of like Superman out here, but Superman needs to get it going, because it hasn't been very super so far tonight.
Well, that Patriot offense, you look at the numbers, and Brady's been under some pressure, and they scored 1 touchdown on an interception return, and the other was set up by Connolly's unbelievable kickoff return. Now you got a pass outside to Danny Woodhead, and that's good for a first down as Danny takes the ball out to the 49-yard line. 1st and 10.
Well, clearly when you play against Bill Belichick, there are certain guys that will not beat you. In this case, it is Clay Matthews. Double team on the outside. Make sure he's occupied at all times.
Patriots go no huddle. Here's Woodhead. Looking to pick up the pace as Woodhead gets about 7 yards on the ground to the 44-yard line.
Tell you what, pretty good job there by the new guy, Ryan Wendell, pulling around and setting that edge.
Again, New England no huddle here at the 44-yard line. 2nd down and 3, controlling the tempo. And you got moving up front. They're going to call this one. It's a free play. Coming across the line was Clay Matthews, drawing the flag. Hit Hockley. Keeping those biceps warm tonight.
Offside, defense number 52. The penalty is declined. The play results in a first down.
So now at the 39, and again, New England going all no huddle on this drive. Woodhead is the back. Fake to him. Brady stepping up. Might have had that one deflected or tipped, and still is able to get it to Deion Branch at the 23-yard line. Pressure was on. The ball came wobbling out of Brady's hand, but got there on target. And Tom's still going no huddle.
That may be the best throw I've ever seen. He only had half an arm on that one.
From the 23-yard line. Here's Brady again handing the ball off to Woodhead. Woodhead, head down to the 10-yard line. First down. Let's go back to the Brady pass quickly.
Go quickly here. See whether or not I think Deion Branch had it. Brady wasn't going to take any chances, though. He was right up to the line of scrimmage.
Got his hands under it. Here's Brady getting it away, and somebody hit his arm just as the ball was released. First and goal. Nose of the ball right at the 10-yard line. Halfway through the fourth quarter. Brady resetting the formation. And then goes to the outside, and that's caught by Hernandez, who takes it into the end zone for a touchdown. They went to work on Sam Shields again. And for the second time, he goes to his rookie tight end for 6.
I tell you, it's amazing to be able to flank a tight end out and beat a cornerback for a touchdown on an out route. But what Tom Brady was able to do there, he caught the Packers stuck in their nickel defense, and he didn't want them to get off the field. He had his 2 tight ends out there, base personnel, so he stayed hurry up so he could stay against that grouping.
Shane Graham for the extra point. New England has the lead again with 7:14. Then that lead goes to 4. New England 31, Green Bay 27. So Brady flanks Hernandez out, then hits him. Touchdown. New England on top 31-27. Green Bay in games decided by 8 or fewer points, 7 and 15 since 08 in one-possession games, and they've lost a lot of close ones and a lot of heartbreakers this year, and now they're down by 4 halfway through the quarter. Here's Shields. And Shields, who got beaten on the Hernandez touchdown, with a little bit of atonement here out to the 45-yard line. He set him up near midfield.
Been one impressive night for Matt Flynn. Here's the first touchdown pass to James Jones that really sort of set the tone for everything else this evening. Stood right in the face of Rob Ninkovich, completed that touchdown, and John Kuhn basically just took care of business on that one. I tell you, Kevin Green, before the game, the great linebacker, played so long in the league, said, trust me, Matt Flynn tonight is going to have a coming out party, and it will be impressive. He needs one more.
First and 10, 45-yard line. Inside handoff. Good tough running right here by Jackson. Brandon Jackson takes the ball to the 42, a gain of 13 yards. And for Jackson tonight, 17 carries for a total of 82 yards.
Well, and they are just simply, there's nobody in here. And it's a great call. I'm sure there was no audible by Matt Flynn, but the Patriots were just overloaded to the right. They just happened to catch the right call.
Three receivers set to the right. Little toss to Jackson, but that didn't fool one Patrick Chung. Is that from the safety spot? Second-year safety out of the University of Oregon with the play in the offensive backfield.
Balaga's got to get his head around. There's Pat Chung coming off the edge. He just couldn't make the play. I think Pat Chung's one of the more valuable players on this Patriots team. Not only is he a tremendous safety, one of their best, but he's been able to come down due to some injuries and play the slot corner. You don't find many safeties that could do that.
He had a night of nights in the Monday Nighter in Miami earlier in the season. Second down and 14. With under 6 minutes to play. Flynn over the middle. Wide open right there is Brett Swain, second-year man from San Diego State, who makes his first catch of the night, and that will make it 3rd down and 8 for Green Bay.
Nice play by Josh Sitton, the guard, who's had a nice night tonight. Saw the blitz late, was able to get there. Now gives his offense a chance on 3rd down.
Driver, Jones, and Jennings all go to the right. Now Jones breaks it coming to the near side. Blitz coming. Flynn hangs in. Deep downfield into a lot of coverage and a lot of traffic, and it's incomplete. Intended for Andrew Quarles.
Boy, Kyle Arrington was going at it with Quarles. I'll tell you what, that's a call that could have easily gone either way. You talk about the cutoffs and not allowed to impede the progress of the... Yeah, I think that's a pretty good no call.
Yep.
I think he just got position and held it.
Agreed. Incidental. Mastay's kick floats one. It's fair caught at the 11-yard line by Wes Welker. 4:52 remaining in the 4th quarter. New England up by 4. Bill Belichick 11th year. Mike McCarthy in his 5th. Matching up tonight in Foxboro. Belichick's team has not had a turnover in the last 5 games. That's already an NFL record, and they don't have one tonight. So they are 4 minutes and 52 seconds away from going a 6th consecutive game without turning the ball over from the 11-yard line. Brady going to work and maybe using some of the clock as well. And he starts with Danny Woodhead. He starts to stumble and he gets out to the 15-yard line. 2nd down.
Well, there's a reason that Tom Brady is probably the leading candidate for MVP of the league. With the money on the line, he was workmanlike going down the field. This throw to me was unbelievable. He got his arm hit halfway through the process and still completed the pass. Danny Woodhead, tough as he always has been. And then the flexibility of these tight ends. We see them in tight blocking. We see them flanked out. And the matchup issues that Aaron Hernandez and Danny Woodhead cause for defenses, tough to describe.
Green Bay taking a defensive timeout, consecutive home wins with a 4th quarter lead on the entire Belichick era. They have not lost a game when leading in the 4th at 62. Let's go back to his first season. They did lose one in 2000 to Miami, but since then, of course, they began their run in 2001. 62 in a row. It's 2nd down and 6 after Green Bay took a timeout. Now Brady going to work again. And that pass into a lot of traffic at the 20-yard line is caught by Welker, but then they say no, incomplete. Official comes in. It will be 3rd down and 6.
Now, Tom Brady, for all his great abilities, the ability to drive the ball down low so that balls that are missed like that one hit the ground and aren't tipped. He talked about his ability to throw the ball in bad weather, mostly because he can get the elbow high enough and throw it down. Wes Welker missed a big opportunity.
That's a big blessing for Green Bay because they don't have to use another timeout. It's 3rd down and 6. Trying to hold into a 3 and out. Here they come on the blitz. It is tipped. It's up in the air and it's incomplete. And again, Brady nearly has one pick. The pass is incomplete. So Green Bay only had to use 1 timeout, then 2 incomplete passes, and they'll get the ball in what should be fairly decent field position.
A.J. Hawk right out is going to loop all the way around, and as this ball gets tipped in the air, it looks like he's going to have an easy catch. Good hustle by Ryan Wendell to simply knock him to the ground before he could make it.
Zoltan Mesko to punt. Tramon Williams is back for it. Williams from the 38-yard line. Trying to cut it back. Can't. Tackled at the 41. So a 4-point deficit.
As it should be for this one. You know, you get the great Tom Brady on one side, and some kid you barely even knew existed except for his play in the national championship game. And here's Matt Flynn with an opportunity in the fourth quarter against Tom Brady to do it. And it's his dad's birthday on top of it.
Well, we'll see if he can give him exactly what Alvin would like to see tonight on birthday number 64. Flynn starts from the 43-yard line. Green Bay 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. 10 to time. Start on the ground. And it's Jackson. It takes 4 Patriots to corral him after a gain of close to 5 yards out to the 48-yard line.
Well, Mike McCarthy, I think, will go back to the same thought process he had at the end of the first half. Get a couple of quick throws out. If they can establish that they're going to throw it quickly, it'll slow down the blitz, and the blitz is the only thing that has really hurt Matt Flynn tonight.
Flynn, he's going to go deep into double coverage again, and it's going to get picked off. Brandon Merriweather will take it back to the 31, and there's a flag down. There's a flag down in the offensive backfield.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 95. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Tully Banta Kane. And a huge break for the Packers.
Tully Banta Kane on the outside. Let's see it. Right up underneath the helmet in clear view. No question about it. And what a game-changing moment that is. Now, that's one thing to have your hands up underneath the face mask like that. It's another thing to give the second push. I mean, Ed Hockley's standing within 10 yards of you. He couldn't miss it if he tried.
At the New England 48-yard line. First down. Jackson. To the 40-yard line goes Brandon Jackson, closing in on 100 yards. 20 carries for him tonight. 91 yards on the ground. Patriots with their hands full on a night when Flynn makes his first start. And Green Bay giving them all they can handle. The hottest team in the league, the Patriots, in a game that's going to go down to the wire. 2nd and 3, under 3 to play. Jackson again. And Jackson is close to that first down at the 37-yard line.
Well, Vince Wilfork has to be just about exhausted after playing nearly every snap out here tonight. But he has not stopped.
Hockley's going to measure.
Right up here. Stays on, eyes in the backfield, slips off. That one looked like it might pop back inside, and looks like they're going to be just short.
An inch. There it is. One link.
Well, Mike McCarthy last week in the game against the Lions took a shot in this same kind of situation at the end of the game.
On 4th down.
Exactly. Don't be surprised, because he can always come back here on 4th down and try and pick up the first down if he doesn't take a shot here.
Kuhn is the running back. 3rd and 1. 2.5 to go. Instead, it's a quarterback sneak. He keeps it. He gets to the 35-yard line, and that's a first down for the Green Bay Packers.
You know, the flip side of this is you want to score, but Tom Brady on the other side, you'd like that clock to read about 3 seconds if you did score.
Well, that's exactly the way they're playing it right now, because they're going to let this go to the 2-minute warning. 2 timeouts and 35 yards to the end zone. 2-minute warning in Foxboro. where the Patriots lead the Packers 31-27. Pro Bowl voting leaders, and there they are right now. And the MVP balloting might look like that as well at the moment. Brady on top, Vic second, and Peyton Manning is third. Wendy's post-game report will be following the game, and this one is a beauty going right down to the end. 2 timeouts, the ball at the 35-yard line. Green Bay, perfect balance tonight. 37 runs, 37 passes. Jackson on run number 38 takes the ball to the 29-yard line. And Brandon Jackson now with 99 yards on 22 carries.
One thing that the Patriots are doing with this backside, they're playing their defensive ends so wide that the cutback has been there, and the Packers keep taking advantage of it. They want to bring their guys outside the tackle. See where they are way out here? Which gives you a chance to start inside and bounce it back that way with an easy block by Clifton.
On 2nd down and 4. Flynn rolling against the green, and then he has to throw that one away. Nobody's open. The pass is incomplete. Jennings the closest guy to it. It'll be 3rd down and 4 with 78 seconds to play.
I'll tell you, if they line up in that same formation again, I just keep pounding it at them. Your offensive line is winning the battle. You need 4 yards. You're obviously going to go for it on 4th down. If they line up that soft again, why put it in the hands of the young quarterback? Let the big guys take care of it. Wilfork right in the middle.
Well, if they run it, there will be an inside handoff to Kuhn. Flynn out of the gun. Going to put it up. He's going to throw, and he's going to get the 1st down. He gets the ball to the 24-yard line. Arrington tackles Driver at that spot, and we tick down to a minute. And now Green Bay is going to take a timeout.
That's their second. It's a 30-second timeout.
Well, the protection's been rock solid all night by this offensive line. And Matt Flynn, when he's not getting blitzed, he is extremely comfortable looking in the backfield. Vince Wilfork tried to go straight to the bull rush, just missed. Driver, the old warhorse on the outside. Who knows when it's going to end for him, but I'll never forget the play he made against San Francisco earlier this year, breaking about 5 or 6 tackles at age 35. One of the most impressive plays of the year.
Well, 12 years in the league out of Alcorn State for years. Brett Favre's favorite target. He said that was the best play of his career.
Well,
1 timeout, 1:05, the ball at the 24-yard line. Aaron Rodgers watching his backup, doing a number tonight. Pressure. Sack back at the 33-yard line. That's Dane Fletcher, a rookie from Montana State. Plays sparingly, comes around the edge, gets a huge sack back to the 32-yard line. And now Green Bay has to take its final timeout. It will be 2nd down and 18 back at the 32 with no timeouts left.
You never know for sure, but I've got to think this is a mistake by Brian Bulaga. They step out. He should have stepped out here. And when he doesn't get there, they end up double teaming the inside guy, and no way that Josh Sitton could get there.
Green Bay they were caught between a rock and a hard place there. Do you call a timeout at that point, your last one? 53 seconds. There was a little bit of indecision. There's a lot going on though. You got a guy who's a 3rd-year quarterback, but in effect in his first start, his first real experience, trying to effect a game-winning drive, and they took their timeout. So now there are none in the 2nd down and 18 with a ball at the 32-yard line. Flynn throwing to the 28-yard line. That'll be caught there by James Jones. And now they are still about Well, 16-yard shot. Let's see. They put the ball at the 25. Make it 3rd down and 11. 3rd and 11 at the 25-yard line. Half a minute to go. 3-man rush. Pass caught. That is a yard short of the first. That's Driver. They got to get up to the line. You can't spike it here because you've got a 4th down. So he can't spike it. He's looking to the bench. The clock is running down. They got to get to the line of scrimmage. They have to do something here. Well, here's where the inexperience is going to kill him.
Cannot throw in the middle of the field now. Even a completion. Game's over.
You can't. Last play, in effect, without a defensive foul. And he's going to get sacked, and he's going to fumble the ball, and New England's going to come away with a victory. Well, it was a pretty good 59 minutes for the Green Bay Packers and a real ugly last 59 seconds.
Well, you know that Aaron Rodgers would have had a play that he could have gone up and called immediately. Obviously, Matt Flynn has not been able to practice all of the things that he was going to see in that sequence. Didn't have a play, was trying to listen on his headset to hear what the heck Mike McCarthy was trying to call. In the process, they simply ran out of time. Right here, 23 seconds essentially on the clock. Flynn's trying to communicate now. He's trying to say, what are we going to do? But he can't get it called. All the offensive linemen looking at him. Aaron Rodgers would have had the call easily made. The inexperience. It took 59 minutes and 55 seconds to show, but it finally reared its ugly head.
It did. At the very end. But it was a pretty good night to be watching a football game on Sunday night. Van de Kane, who had that penalty, ends the game with that sack, forcing the fumble, coming up with the football, and New England wins it just barely as they hang on to defeat the Green Bay Packers by a score of 31-27. They go to 12-2, best record in the conference, and Green Bay drops to 8-6. Wendy's post-game report coming up after these messages.